video, I will show you how to use population density vector data in QGIS. Continuing from the previous tutorial,
activate the Processing toolbox by clicking on the Processing tab and clicking on Toolbox. In the Processing toolbox, search for Refactor fields. You can see that mine is under Recently Used. Yours may be here underneath Vector Table, and open the algorithm. In the algorithm, we would like to change the data types for area in kilometers, population 2016, and density. I can drag along a bit. You can see that here is the length and here is the precision, and this is the data type. So if you click on the drop-down box, you can see double here or decimal number and change all three to that. We would like the length to be 10 for all three. And lastly, we'd like the precision to be 3 for all of them. Click on the three dots and we would like to save this to the current file we're working in. So open density, and we would like that to be called KZN_districts. Press save. And run the algorithm. You'll see that KZN districts has been generated into your map field. I'd like to reproject the refactored layer to a known CRS, and as per the worksheet, right click on the layer and go to layer CRS and click on set CRS, and this will open the coordinate reference system selector. Since this is KZN, I'm going to choose the African Lambert projection because that gives a good projection for Africa. Click OK. Now we want to remove all of the layers except the district, so click the KZN districts. So click on district and click Control and click on KZN population and just press Control D and say OK. That'll remove your unwanted layers. Open the attribute table by right clicking and saying Open Attribute Table. And toggle Edit the table and create a new column using the Open Field Calculator tool. In the field calculator, we'd like to create a new field. We'd like to call the field Pop 10K. For the field type, we're going to choose the decimal number again, so it'll be the same as the other ones that we made. Finally, we'd like the expression to be the population 2016 divided by 10,000. So if I go to fields and values here, I can double click on population 2016 and that will put it into our field calculator. You can see it's in double quotation marks. That means it's a field name and not a field value. Divide that by 10,000. Okay. Save the edits to your table and turn off toggle editing. Minimize your table. In the processing toolbox, you can search for random points inside polygon. You can see here that it's under My Recently Used, but it's also under Vector Creation Tools over here. I'm going to double click to open the algorithm. So now we would like to make a point cloud or density value for the population 10K field that we just made. So we would like the input layer to be the KZN districts that we created. We would like it to be a point count but under point count or density, click on the date defined override. We would like to override it by a field type, and the field type we want is the pop10k that we created. Accept the rest of the defaults and run the algorithm. You will see that random points have been generated inside each of the districts, and that districts with a higher population will have a higher density of points versus districts that have a lower population. We'd now like to style the districts, so activate the layer by clicking on it. Click on the layer styling panel, click on the simple fill, click on the down, and enable transparent fill. I'd also like to style the generated points, so activate the random points. I'm going to pull out the styling panel just a little bit so I can see easier. I'm going to pull down here and see if there are any of the defaults that I like. I'm not particularly interested in any of those, so I'm going to open Simple Marker. And let's make it a star shape. And I would like the stars to be blue in color. With the stroke line to be a darker blue that we can choose from this slider here. And you can apply that. Lastly, another way that this can be symbolized is by using what is known as a heat map. So that'll show us the places with a higher population density versus places with a lower population density. Under single symbol here, press the drop down, enable heat map, and pull the districts to be above so you can see easily where the heat map is. The color ramp is currently in grays. You can choose something red in reds to be a heat map, or you can choose a magma style. That actually works quite nicely. You can really see the different densities, and that this district here, which I'm assuming is where Durban is, has the highest population density, and that you can just play around with in your own time to see how best to show that. Heat maps can sometimes be a bit deceiving depending on the scale. So, for example, it looks like there's a very low, everywhere is pretty low in population except for this area. But if you zoom in a bit, you can see that there actually are high population areas or high point density areas in each of the districts. So that is just how heat maps work. It depends on your zoom in on your scale of your map.